Hello and welcome back to another episode of Websies, a series where I try to build a simple web app to support Rust cutters, right? Last time we have managed to add some filtering here, which was really easy. I don't know if a text filter is really required. And the next thing I'd like to do is to add a checkbox or a radio button here that allows me to filter by that. So I can filter by the difficulty level of these things. That would be interesting. And then I'm done with that. Then it's really about finding some cutters and implementing some detail view maybe, or even some tooltips here. I don't know yet. Maybe a detail view would be it. Oh yeah, and maybe also take care about this. I have no idea what I want here, but for now, the radio button. So the difficulties, I guess I want to make them available via the service. Okay. And let's see, we have a spec for that. I think the main JS spec is actually testing this. Yeah, but I'm quite loose with that. Scope cutters, the scope might also want difficulties now. So let's expect that. Expect scope difficulties. Length not to be 0, like that. Should fail. And it does. Cool. So scope difficulties length didn't exist. Main.js, because we didn't set it. Scope difficulties is cutters. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I want to make it lowercase here, so that it shows it's an instance of that service. On the other hand, these are singletons, so we can as well keep them uppercase. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, like that. What do you say? And now it ran. Did it? JS hint. Oh no, wait. It didn't actually rerun, because I have to change that guy. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. Undefined is not an object. Evaluating scope difficulties. Length. I have difficulty typing difficulties. So now it should be a bit better. Cool. Great success. Awesome. You also have Phantom.js for DOM-related tests. That's good. In case that shall be required at some point. Right now, I don't really feel like checking the DOM. I think I will just keep it to these unit-style tests just to verify the basics. All right. Now, the checkbox. So here we have the input field, and right behind that should be the radio button stuff, which ideally is just, yeah, how do I do that? Bootstrap, radio button. Let's see what they have. Radio buttons. Okay, that's just a style. Input type radio span. So I think that's how you do it. You put a span there, and then this, and that's how it kind of works. Oh yeah, search for placeholder. Is it possible to specify a placeholder just by doing this? Yeah. All right, that will work. I can also search for medium, right? Yeah, cool. So it really searches all the string values in the object. That's very nice. And that was easy. Now the radio button again. Button add-ons, button with drop-downs. Yeah, I don't need that. I think I will be fine. Input group. So that's all the classes that come with Bootstrap, huh? Sizing add-on 1, sizing add-on. Input group small. Huh. LG. Ah, I see. Input group. Yeah, whole new world of things to learn. Input group. Huh. So should I call this input group then? Why not? So now the radio buttons, badges, labels, something like that. Yeah, that would be cool. Span, label, default. Yeah, maybe I set the colors using my own CSS. Yeah, let's do this. Let's have a div. ng class is, well, just a class. Is difficulties, radio, let's beautify it right away, like that. Okay, what's next? Then I want to repeat over these, right? So ng repeat. It will repeat the entire div. Or will it repeat? No, I think it will repeat the children. So I put it here. Oops. I have to do this manually. ng repeat for level in difficulties. We should have it on the scope because that guy has the controller, right? And now we can say the name of the difficulty level and make it a label with the level as a class as well. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, it's there, it's just not aligned correctly. It should be inline. How does that work? Class label default, label primary, label info, label warning. I think that affects the color. And it needs to span. Yeah, I have it. I guess that doesn't change a thing. Except that the classes are not assigned now because the syntax isn't correct. Yes. So where is my background here? Why does the background thing not work? Modify classes to change the appearance of a label. Right. Rendering problems can arise when you have dozens of inline labels within a narrow container, each containing its own inline block element, like an icon. The way around this is setting display inline block. Okay. Maybe I want to do this then. Let's see. Let's try it live. And I think I can make these into a radio button easily. Oh, display block. But only for divs. Okay. Let's do this for... Oh, wait. Yeah, it repeats... Oh no, it does repeat the entire thing. Okay. I don't want that. All I want is to repeat that span. Like so. Okay. That's better. Even though the background is still not there. What happens if I put label primary? Okay. Okay, then the background comes in. Okay, so all I have to do is to simulate that label primary stuff, whatever it does. Here's the grep. Label primary. Where is it? So here are the labels. Oh, label variant. Okay, so that's kind of a function that is being called here. Let's see where it is defined. Here in the mixins. All right. Would be great if I could look these things up. Maybe I can. That would be awesome. Go to declaration. No, doesn't work. Yeah, I'm missing C tags here, obviously. And there are certain ways to create them. I will try that one more time because there is a plugin that is not Atom C tags, which it was called differently, I think. It would allow you to just refresh these. Symbol. No, also not that one. Maybe I don't have it here. Yeah, anyway. So how does it work? Background color sets a certain background color. And then href hover focus, it darkens. Okay. Yeah. So I could just have this thing here. Let's see if I can express this without duplicating anything. So if I have difficulty here or label, I think the or can be expressed like this. Then the colors are still the same. Right? And where are these things coming from? So, or label. Okay. And now if I have label, then I want to set this href stuff. Oh, darken. I don't know where darken is defined. And I need a color to do the darken right. So that's where it really wants to be a mix in that thing. All right. Oh, and also this doesn't work anymore. Yeah. So I guess I can actually just have roll my own, take the entire mix in, and I don't know, should I copy it? Or should I just refer to it? Import. Where does it import the mix in? Elsewhere. Labels as CSS. Does it name them? No. Interesting. How it finds nothing anymore. Label variant. How does the import look or work again? Maybe I can just use it. Yeah, let's try to just use it, huh? This could actually work. Label variant. Yeah. I will try. And then it's like include label variant. Let's copy this for now, because that should work for me just fine. I hope. So if we are, now the CSS changes, right? Because now it's a child. So if we are in a label and we have an easy nested in there, then we do this. I could of course put a variable here, because at some point I might want to change these. So green is green. Let's see if that works. And this should be green too. Okay, invalid CSS after green. Expected color was, so how do we assign variables again? Do I see this somewhere? Not here, not there. Assign variable. Oh, SCSS, no. So probably it wants to be called SAS. Okay. That's how that works. They aren't assigned. Nothing I need, but good to know. Yeah, so it's really just like CSS. Green is green. Now this should work, right? Cool. It's still green. So let's say orange is orange and red is red. red. Okay, and now I can just take these and duplicate them. Maybe there's a loop. Does sus have loops? Kind of. That would be interesting. Sus loop. Oh, there's something like that. Look at this. So I need to loop over multiple values, right? So I need to loop over the string, the names of the levels, and each one has a color associated with it. So how can I have more complex things in grid columns? Each var list, so that's a list. Is there a complex list? Array access, yeah. Until then, I will just do it the only way I know how. Bit repetitive, but at least it's there. And it's still not as bad as real CSS, right? So, cool. So now if there's a label and it's easy, will this work? Oh, it's actually on the same thing. Look at that. Oh, I didn't expect that. Well, cool. Then I should be able to do it like that even. Yeah. You'll see. So I will try to simplify this any moment now. First, it should kind of work like that. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Amazing. It does something. Good. So I should be able to just put this in here. And it should still work. Provided, yeah, let's kick this one out and put the label here. So now this should still work, right? Nope. Yeah. It's interesting that nothing, oh, because that doesn't work anymore. Maybe this is an or then and not an and. Did it reload? Yeah, it reloaded already. So how do I do multiple? Oh, with the comma. Like this. Yay. Ooh, okay. Ah, now I get it. Because it's the same thing and I set it up like that. You know what? Maybe I just use labels for the other thing as well. And then we are good. So I don't need difficulty anymore. Let's put this away. And it's just a label now and we are fine. Huh? Oops. Something broke. So one's label and, oh, yeah, it broke because I totally screwed it up. So these can go away now. Oh. Yeah, sure, it wants a span, right? To work. And I think it wants some text as well. So what if I put the something in here? All right. There it is. Cool. So I guess these can now completely go away. Any moment now. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So maybe to simulate some size, I can just put a space in there. Will that be the same? Yes. And yeah, something I would like to have. Oh, by the way, I have to fix these up. Red. Orange. So that should still be the same, but now there should be some, some mouse over thing going on, but it's not. No hover, no darkening happening here, unfortunately. Good, but it kind of looks, okay. Actually, now the idea of using the first button seems more attractive to me. The first letter here. So what about kata name and then the first guy, and here we have kata name splice first and -1 to the end. I don't know. Let's see how that works. Okay, there's K and the splice didn't work at all. Also no error. Why is that? Hello? Splice 1. What does this do? Oh, not a function. Substring? Oh yeah, substring. Like this, right? Cool. Except for the background being a tiny little bit, or the label being a tiny little bit too big here. But yeah, interesting looks, that's for sure. Maybe I want a margin as well, or less of that here. Yeah, but that's just the looks, right? It doesn't really matter. It can be improved. We can play around with that a little. It's okay to use it or not. All doesn't really matter. We could even underline it with a color maybe, or yeah, whatever. That's the simple stuff. Now, radio buttons, right? Radio buttons. How do I get the radio buttons going? Input radio. Input type radio. That should already do it. Do I have to put it as a child there? I will find out. Input type radio. Like so. Oh, look. Now there's an actual radio button. Can I just put this here? So it must be depressible somehow. If I click it, something should happen. So angular radio button. Let's see how that works. Input type radio, ng model something, ng change, ng value. Okay, so that's how that would work. But how do I change it based on, yeah, how do I make it so that it's not looking like a radio button? Like with a label. Look at that. Is there an example too? Somewhere? Button label. Oh, it calls it label. Oh, but then it really is. Just that. I don't know. Probably this doesn't even work. Like that. Radio. What do you say about that? Okay, nothing. Doesn't like it at all. Fine, fair enough. That doesn't work. Not like that, at least. Yeah, they have very different, very pretty buttons here. Span, input group add-on, input radio, fine. That's more like it. Button, type button. Yeah, what kind of button types do we have? Buttons with drop-downs, segmented buttons, multiple buttons. Here, this is kind of what I want, right? Input type text, yeah. Buttons. There are no buttons here. Maybe if I add one. Button, type. What kind of type do you have? Type. Submit, reset. There's not too much going on here. Form action. Okay. Let's just have a button with a name. Okay. There's a button. Well, awesome. I don't know why it doesn't show anything here. And I really apparently have not understood how that stuff works just yet. All right. Fair enough. Let's kill these off. Oops. And they're gone. So that wants to be a span to work. Where do I find what I'm looking for? Maybe I'm not looking for the right thing. So there's this input And for some reason, this one doesn't appear where it should appear, the div. Maybe I can fix that for now. Display wants to be something else. Yeah, whatever I do, it doesn't show up on top. Okay. Huh. So that's the input. But why? Ah, because this is so big. Oh. This is so big. This is why. Maybe display table. Yeah, maybe this also has something to do with it. Even though technically position relative. Okay. Whatever that means. But it does, something changes. So it really is about the layout what I'm doing here. Which I don't like in particular, because what I really want to deal with is generally how to make this a clickable input thing. We have a span that is claiming to be a radio. And maybe I can have an ng change on it that says what happens. Maybe we call foo. Something failed. That's good, I guess. Because this means it's not total nonsense. Require directive ng change cannot be found. Oh. Okay. ng, yeah. Maybe it just wants ng model here. ng change. Huh. Interesting that it couldn't find it, huh? ng change, that is there. To be executed when input changes due to user interaction. Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean, possibly what I want. Yeah, maybe all I want is to have ng model and then set it to the difficulty filter. Filter difficulty, like this. And then all I have to do is to filter against the difficulty. Or nothing. I don't know if it automatically disables itself if nothing is set. Didn't fail yet. Also, I probably have to implement my own then, huh? There was more about filtering. I guess I have to read that. So let's keep this. Filter. Filter parameter name. Filter name parameter value. Huh. Yeah, that's how you can filter things, but how do you apply it? Maybe repeat. ng repeat shows you how to do it. Oops. Probably it does with the pipe filter. Okay, order by. So order by we can do, but right now it's not happening. As filtered results. Track by. So filter patterns, search tags, filter X. Only after items have been processed through the filter. It can be used only at the end. Okay. Filter X, order by order, limit 2. All right. So there was an alternative syntax, I think, that would allow you to do things a bit differently. Damn it. I think I'm losing it here. I'm losing my success string, my success streak. It was relatively easy, but now I can't really get to what I want, even though I think it's rather simple what I want. Right? So how does that work? How would I get that done? Oh, there's radio stuff going on as well, but with a real radio field. Yeah, true. Ah, come on. And that's input. That's the wrong one. Placeholder filter. Filter Q as results. Where does it use results? Why does it do the renaming? This is why. So that you can then say nothing was found. Interesting. Let's try that. That should be something that is applicable to me right away. As results. On which level do I have to put it? Onto the same. And if results length is 0. No katas found. What do you say? Cool. That actually works. That is very nice. And I still have this filter difficulty thing in there. What is, if I do foo, it just ignores it. That's good. ng model. This should put it onto the scope, onto the primary one. That's fine. Yeah, I think it binds to the parent scope. But what can I do here? How can I do this? How can I make this span a real radio button? Span radio button, right? Styling checkboxes and radio buttons using CSS. Yeah. I just want, shouldn't even look like one of these. Oh, come on. Border image. Input type checkbox. And then CSS 3. I don't know if SAS supports CSS 3 or not. Page on styling buttons with CSS 3. Button. Oh, actually, I don't want to style. Well, maybe I do want to do that. Button text. How do they look like? Why is there no example for this? I don't get it. Span with radio underneath. Something like that. Yeah. I've created a little bit changes. What? Doesn't seem to be commonplace here. Maybe I should use Bootstrap for this. Probably it's super easy. Bootstrap, radio, button, style, whatever. With Bootstrap and awesome. Yeah. Actually, it should just be buttons. How can it be so hard? Input ID checkbox type checkbox. Yeah, but where's the styling here? Ah, here it is. Checkbox primary. Okay, so maybe I should look at Bootstrap radio button stuff. What do you have for radios? Radio inline, radio label, radio inline. Button groups. Maybe radio. Should be a class on that one. Yeah, I don't even have the darkening here, unfortunately. That's a bit odd. Yeah, so that didn't do anything for me. Sad. I can't do it. It's now too much CSS and I don't have the knowledge. How do I get the knowledge that I need? How can I make it happen? Come on. Radio buttons. Wait a moment. Here I do it too. How do I do this? Look at that, beautiful. I've done it before. Long time ago. So that's how that works. Goody. Button radio ng model, okay. Button radio. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's totally awesome. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff I want. Less large though, but generally that's how it should look like. How does it work? Oh yeah. And with the, Jesus, it's a bit buggy too. And it changes these classes on the fly, so there probably is more underneath that. Radio. Maybe there's one example that shows pretty ones. No. Unfortunately, not. Tracking changes, validation, nested forms, checkbox input. It's all this simple stuff that I do not like. I could just go for the simple stuff and have something, right? So having the span will give the color, and then I can just basically put the input in there, right? This was the simplest thing that worked already out of the box without problems. Like so. Ooh. Now they're all set. Well, that's a tiny bit unexpected. Maybe there wants to be a radio group or a form around it. Probably one wants a form around it in order to have a single kind of group with just one value. Yeah, probably. And I shall also, just for the fun of it, print the filter difficulty here. Let's see what we have. Nothing. Or this makes no sense at all. And I want to put it here. Okay, maybe it makes no sense at all. ng model filter difficulty. Okay. So now I put a form around it. Anything special there? ng controller, example controller, which just sets the initial values. Value red. So the value you want to set as well. Maybe with value level. Does it help? Yeah, I wonder why I still cannot see anything. It should update this filter difficulty now, right? Yeah, so maybe I want to have this form around it. I'm not sure if I need a name. So let's not use a name. Oh, what am I doing? npm install. Oh, not intended. Wrong combination was pressed. Okay, so is it now behaving like... No, it's not. Awesome. Totally not doing anything. I hate this. All right, again. Maybe form needs a name. Oh, totally broken. What? How can that happen? Why do I not understand what's going on? I shouldn't necessarily need a controller, that's the thing. So I don't want to give it one. Does animate repeat? Do I have it here? I actually do have it there. Doesn't matter, right? Because I don't really have that just now. All right. Huh. This is pretty neat. I thought. Button radio. I think that must be an Angular directive here. ng disabled. State read only. Okay, fine. Tooltip. By the way, the tooltip thing, does that work out of the box? Let's see. Probably not. Probably a directive as well. But it's a good thing to just keep it in there or put it in there. I want it on the entire span, obviously. Tooltip is or maybe I want a checkbox actually, because you could show multiple ones, right? Checkbox. And then this makes a bit more sense, even though the filtering will be more difficult. How does the value for a checkbox look like then? I have no idea. Yeah. Show only simple cutters like that. Okay. So everything else, yeah, the form didn't do anything useful for me. Okay. And there's no value whatsoever. This binding doesn't seem to work at all, which is annoying, or it binds to the wrong thing. Well, let's see. How can I bind to something on another scope? Input, checkbox. How does that work now? So bind to property name. Yeah, I could also ng change. Maybe I call something. Last time I tried that didn't really work. So how does it work here? Name, controller, checkbox model, and it binds to specific values, which are just true and false then. So seems simple, right? But doesn't really work for me. At least if I do the form thing. So why would that be? What does it say now, by the way? It's still there, that's good. It doesn't say a word about foo not being there. Maybe I just edit. This foo is a function that logs its arguments. Also not, but also didn't totally freak out. Type checkbox, model. Maybe don't put anything on the model, but call this ng model required directive ng change can't be found. Ah, now I get it. It really wants that. Okay, so it does have main controller foo, right? It doesn't seem to care about what I want. Main controller foo. So does that even work that way? Maybe I put it on the scope. Yeah, I mean, this should be the controller, but for now, the only thing I know for sure is that the scope will have an effect. Damn it! I hate you. Why do I have the feeling that it does nothing at all? What if I put an input elsewhere? Like outside of this entire thing. One checkbox, filter difficulty, calls foo, and value is hardish. Oh, now so the binding actually works. It really wants it to be set up, it appears. Oh, so filter difficulty. So each one wants to have its own model, right? So on main, I could set up the values. Scope, filter difficulties is easy, true, yeah, I guess it should be like this. Oh wait, that's an object. Like so. And then filter difficulties like this is true, right? By default, they all start with that, and we might do a for in. Yeah. Is there a better one too? For this, yeah, like that. Katas, difficulties, like that. Cool. I actually have it here as well. And then we put that here, set it to true. Okay. Now I have an object with respective values and can say filter difficulties dot level, right? Should evaluate the expression. I wonder whether this works. Probably that is better, right? So that's what it should bind to. All right. So they start off with true, and filter difficulties is something I can now print here. And now this also works. Interesting. I don't know why it didn't really want to work at all before, but maybe it's really just the bindings that kind of went wrong. Okay, so that's awesome. Even though it doesn't look like I want, it's something. So now I just have to write my own filter that can handle the difficulties. So how do I do that? I will be happily writing my own filter. Yeah, that's not your own filter. It just allows you to use the common ones. Custom filter maybe. Tutorial, filtering repeaters. Filter query. All right, I think that's what I want to look at here. Oh. And having tests for this is really nice. I should probably be a bit more test driven about that. But man, it's enough for me to deal with that already. It's 1 hour, 8 minutes in. And yeah, how do they create their own? Routing, animations, filters. That's probably the ultimate guide. Filter, multiple arguments, okay. The second argument is filter. Filter controller, function filter. Filter. So it's a filter. That's probably the standard filter, huh? Okay. Custom filters. No filter, reverse in uppercase. Oh yeah, and that first argument can always be kind of the value that it should assume. Okay, stateful filters. Okay, how does that one work? Input. So we have a filter. That's just, yeah. I still have to think about how this works then. You pass a function that creates another function that takes an input and the arguments, right? Okay, let's just try that. I would of course love to have a test for this. So maybe I can actually make this happen. Yeah. So that should be my own filter then. Difficulties. Maybe that also doesn't work now. Yeah, because of that special filter. So that should be by difficulty. No, it doesn't have it. Let's make it. So here we go. Here we go with the test. So yeah, for now I just drop it in there. But maybe I want to have my own filters file, right? Why not? Let's have it. Let's have it. Filters. And there. Yeah, I think I don't want to split it up per filter. Just call them custom. And I'm fine with that. So use strict, then Angular module Qatar's app should have a filter called my difficulty by difficulty, right? Creates a function that does something. And now we have to return a function that takes an input and the values that we should match. Yeah, and I think I wouldn't mind having the katas injected. Like so. Return filter. Let's call it by difficulty. Like so. For now, we just return the input unchanged. And should be good. Cool. So, that's kind of the difficulties that we should filter out. We might log them for the fun of it and see what we get. Okay, so that is that. Now oh yeah, sure, we have to bring it in. If that should work, index. Oops. Custom filters. Okay. Now where are the specs? Here they are. The tests. And custom JS tests. Awesome. Actually, maybe I want this on the other side. So here, custom filters. Why doesn't it show the other one, by the way? Custom.js, filters, and spec. Didn't do it. So tests, custom. Interesting. It doesn't show it. For some reason. Maybe it's hiding it or something. I don't know. I'm taking way too much time here. 1 hour 15 and still didn't do what I came to do. But well, that's how it is sometimes. Let's take... let's type it, right? Let's learn how to write that. So describe filters custom. Then we have a function like this. Before each, we need the module Qatar's app to get anything from the injector, I suppose. Then we can keep the locals somewhere. So what do we have here? Here we have the difficulty filter, and before each, inject the by difficulty. Let's bring it up. Like so. How does it look like? Man. Oh yeah, a function. No wait, inject, then the function. And then from there it knows what you want to inject. And then difficulty filter is by difficulty. Should already be an instance that works for us, and that's that. Okay, cool. And now it should, well, filter nothing on undefined. Well, it will not be undefined, right? It will always be set. Should filter nothing if everything is true. Well, if filter is empty or unset. Let's try that. Then we have a function again, like so. And yeah. So the input would be what? I think the input would be the cutters. Oh yeah, we want the cutters too. Like that. Does that work? Lowercase, yeah, we'll see if that works. It doesn't complain. Oh, it does complain now. What? Okay. Defined but never used. Yeah, I guess it doesn't work that way. Cutters, let's make it lowercase. To add to the confusion. Missing semicolon. Cutters items is the input, I guess. I don't know what the input will actually be, but we will see. Oh, it's already doing something. Cool. Let's also print the input now that we are at it. log input. It's getting an array of objects. Awesome. And that's basically what I provide here, right? So whatever I provide undefined, expect that the result of this to equal Kada's items. So let's see. 17 missing semicolon, main 20. I'm not sure if it's here or elsewhere. Probably it's elsewhere. App script controller main, yeah. Fine. Main JS. Okay, that's nicer. I guess that is nothing I need. There doesn't need to be one there. Okay, I don't know. It seems not to be picking up my changes anymore. So I guess it wants to be refreshed. Fine. I can do that as well. Okay. I thought I print something here. But apparently that's not the case anymore. Oh, wait. It is the case. Alright. So, what does a test say? Did it even run? Filter is custom. Should filter nothing if everything is empty. On set failed. Cool. Oh, unknown provider by difficulty. Oh yeah, I need filter. Right? So that I can then ask for filter by difficulty. Possibly. I am absolutely amazed that this worked. Okay. Yeah, so this worked because I have nothing here. I also have no Lodash, but I think I have Angular Lodash, right? ng Lodash. I think Angular comes with a few built-ins that you can use, like a lightweight version. Oh well. So that's how it looks like. Fine. I think I don't need that anymore. If not difficulties. then bail out right away. Oh, colors is defined but never used. True. And now I would like to iterate through all the key value pairs there, through all the difficulties, and if it's set, put it into an array. I don't think I need colors here, so we might as well remove it. Yeah, I think I might as well remove it. For in. Yeah, for field in difficulties. I'm not going to check for this. If value is difficulties field, if value is true, then we shall put it into our object. Valid difficulties is just that. Valid difficulties is now. Oh man, if I had Lodash, I could easily filter these difficulties, and yeah, probably I would want to clone them and then filter it. Kind of right now I'm, maybe I can delete things from there. Does delete exist? Delete a field? Delete operator. Yeah, delete. Okay, I thought so. I was just confused because there is no highlighting for this guy. Delete foo. Dot bar. No highlighting. Doesn't know it. Interesting. So how do I... Yeah, this can be much nicer with Lodash that I don't have. Maybe I would want it at some point. Maybe Angular has filtering built in. Like not with that filter, but just a basic Angular utility equals extend, something like that, right? For each. Lowercase. Module merge. This element is defined. Identity. Yeah, each could be something. Like this, same thing but different. Function, field, value. Like so. That's a bit nicer, even though it all doesn't really matter. Like so. Anyway, doesn't matter what the value is. I don't know. Can I assign undefined? I can assign null, huh? Oops. Oh no, like that. Okay. So now we can go through all the inputs. Oh yeah, for each doesn't actually return anything. So here again, I want to filter. Oh man. Terrible. Output should be an array. Oh, does that even work? Yeah, I think here this works. So now that we go through the input, I think I might have to use a normal one. So that's the object. If object difficulty invalid difficulties, then you can put it onto the output. And we are done. So it should filter. It should remove katas not matching the given difficulty. Okay, so now this is an object with easy being true, and the rest is just unset. And that should be just one item. Katas items 0 should be the one because we start at this one, and we might also verify that the first one is indeed what we think it is. So expect kata 0 to be item 0 difficulty to be easy, right? JSON fails, and then things stop working, it seems. So it doesn't watch anymore. Why is that? Why is that? Okay. If there is a grave syntax error, then things don't work. Oh. So what happens? Where does it fail? Custom 19. That's this one. Huh. Oh, look at that. So we wanted one object in there. But got an empty array. Easy true. Yeah, probably you wanna katas difficulties 0. That should be the one. Let's not name it. Oops, that doesn't work. Okay, so the filter doesn't work. Fine. Object, difficulty. So what's object here? And what's valid difficulties? Missing semicolon? Where? Yeah, I think I can remove them now. Okay, I can also remove this one again. Okay, I think here it wants one. Okay. So, do I see some printings? Log object. Okay, so it gets the object as we expect, but the valid ones are not working as expected. Difficulties. That's odd. Easy, true, fine. That's exactly what I thought, but if value is true, then set valid difficulties of the field to null. Log field value, does that work? True, easy. Oh, it's the other way around. Oh man. Why? Why do they do that? Cool, so possibly maybe it works better now. And it does, it's green. Awesome. Yeah, with Lodash that code would be much more beautiful. But we don't have it right now. Cool, so in theory, it even works here, huh? Totally. Still doesn't look good, but that's a minor thing. Doesn't really matter. Cool, so I think I would be ready for the detail view, so that if you click here somewhere, things happen and you can see the actual files and stuff, right? So that's how that should be. But that could probably be done tomorrow. Thanks for watching and have a good day.